What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 24th day of October today. Here we are sitting at about $0.00888. We've got about 12 hours left in the day here, and we're just chilling, moving sideways, not doing a whole lot, right? Expecting the inevitable to happen any day now, which is that we crash into oblivion. No, it's that we pump through the skies, we pump through the roof, we break out, and we see some spectacular growth, you guys. Some very spectacular growth. I mean, I am expecting that OnyxCoin over the coming, it could be the coming days, coming weeks, certainly by the end of the year, that we're going to see some spectacular price action. But really, I wouldn't be surprised if most of this breakout move that we're looking for, if a good bit of it didn't happen in November. I am expecting that by the end of November, we should see some fireworks fly. And then going into December, going into the end of the year, we should, see the finale finish there at about 26 to 32 cents. We'll consolidate, and then we'll continue to rally right afterwards, going into, well, maybe not August. The way that I have it drawn here would be August, September of 2026. No, but I do think that we're going to see, and I want to be clear actually of where my all-time high targets are for OnyxCoin, because there's somebody spreading FUD or nonsense in the comments here, and I don't really care, but just so that we're all on the same page here, it's literally just first and foremost, it's going to be extremely difficult for OnyxCoin to get to $2.60. Okay, for a long time we said 240 was the maximum potential we could achieve, but because 260 is the top of this range here in the fibs, it makes some sense, and it's a bit exuberant as far as a market cap goes, right? I think we'd be at over $80 billion in market cap valuation there. I don't think we're going to see an $80 billion valuation this cycle for OnyxCoin, but I do accept it as a possibility, and that is at the high end of the realm of possibilities, is about an $80 billion market cap. So this puts us just over that. Still not above 100 billion. So again, that's why I really accept it as a possibility. And of course, if you haven't been following the channel, let me just say this, but if you have been following the channel, you know this, of course, that we do not expect any altcoin in their first bull market to see a 100 billion or more dollar market cap, right? 80 billion is like pushing it. 60 to 20 billion is typical of a coin in its first bull market. But wasn't this its first bull market? No, it can't, just because it came out at the ass end. I don't even think. Look at that. That's 2022. No, it didn't come out in the bull market. It's only known bear market. This is its first bull market. So I do believe OnyxCoin will see fantastic prices, but just first and foremost, there's no fibs in between $6.70 to $2.60, so there's no way in hell that I would ever call for anything that's above 260, because we're definitely, if we're going to have a hard enough time getting to 260, you best believe we're not getting to 672, not this cycle at least. If this thing keeps developing and things go well through the bear market and into the next cycle, we really could see these prices and beyond. We could see a multi-hundred billion dollar market cap next cycle. It is possible, but I think by the end of this cycle, we will see something closer to $1.03 to $2.60, something in this range here. And most likely, if I really had to guess throughout this range, I typically go for the middle. I think we'll be near $2, but not above $2, right? That's my personal expectation. But outside of my personal expectation is this realm of possible areas that we could see by the end of the cycle. I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if OnyxCoin did not see prices above $1 by the end of the cycle. That is something that I'm very much anticipating happens. It doesn't mean, just because I'm anticipating, it doesn't mean that it has to happen, right? I'm not the end all be all here, but I'm just saying it makes sense. It makes sense to me that we would at least get to $1, because the 1272 from our all-time high to low is at 82 cents, and I can't imagine that after all this we're going to stop at the minimum target. But there, even if we don't stop at $1, what the minimum target then would be 82 cents. Or maybe 53 cents, 54 cents, which isn't nearly as much. It's like half, but still from here, that's still like a 60x. That's still really not that bad whenever you think about it. But I very much do believe that by the end of the cycle, we will see $1 or more, which from the current price puts us at over 100x. And in no way in hell would I ever say that we're going to go above $2.60. That goes against everything that I believe in. That would put OnyxCoin in a realm that doesn't make sense at all here, and then also to give it a market cap that doesn't make sense either for its first bull market. So if you're looking in the YouTube comments and there's anybody saying that I'm calling for OnyxCoin to go to $3 or $6 or $10 or any crazy numbers that they're coming up with, it's just BS. There's people out there that don't like me and they like to spread FUD. for whatever reason. I don't know. They didn't spank it in the morning or something. They haven't gotten their aggression out, and they're taking it out on poor little C-Zar. I'm actually not that little. I'm not big. I mean, I'm bigger than the average person, but I'm not like the mountain, right? I'm not going to say how big I am, but I'm huge. Anyways, here we are, 00888. $2, 2 days, 12 hours left in this week. Enough of all that. Let's get into the short term stuff. We'll zoom out, okay? We'll zoom out here. I just want to make a heavy emphasis on where my expectations are for the end of the cycle, because I don't know how people are confused on that. Somebody's definitely confused on it, but I've been very clear. I feel like from the beginning of this year to this point here that we have fully anticipated something between about $1 to $2, and with the allowance of something that is just above $2 as well as a price expectation. Anyways, here we are at 0088 right now, 1 hour. Looking at the RSI, things are shaping up. We're actually shaping up here. It's looking good. You had a downtrend. You didn't let it get to the oversold zone, which is actually kind of nice. Turned it into a sideways, very volatile trend, and now I would say we're in an uptrend. Kind of looks like we're in an uptrend here. So higher lows, higher highs. It's not pretty. It's definitely very sporadic behavior here in the 1 hour time frame, but that's okay. The price action's ugly too, so that's fine. Stochastics look good. The stochastics look bullish. The RSI looks bullish, and the MACD looks bullish. Good on all indicators there. I really do think, looking at this on a 4 hour time frame, a lot of cryptos kind of have this look right now where not this first dip, but this second and third dip, there's this like W shape. Do you see it right here? This like little W shape right there. I would like to see this come to fruition. And if it does, what it likely means is that we will rapidly approach this price and probably beyond. With W patterns, typically you go above where the W started, right? Depending on how the W looks, it can be a small little thing in the middle, but you typically go above it to consolidate. So I would think then, just looking at this, I mean, where did the W start? Did it start all the way up here? Is that where it started? Did it start more like right here? I think that's probably more appropriate. Even though, yes, technically you did go as high as this, I think that this is more appropriate. Let's go off of candle body closes when we're dealing with a low market cap, low liquidity coin that is easily influenced and can see some pretty big wicks. Let's be conservative. So with that in mind, if the W starts here, we come up, we're probably going to stop just above right there. That'd be my guess. Okay, so let's look and see if there are any, I'm just going to roughly draw it with my eye, if there are any fibs that line up with this area, something in that area there. Okay, if we take a high to low and assume that we move higher, it would make sense then that we do see prices from here above 1 cent. We're on the 4 hour time frame. I would assume well before the end of next week, maybe even by the end of this week, we get up there. And that's at 1 cent or beyond. As high maybe as like 1.1 cent, but I don't think that we reach above there just yet. We'll probably stop in this area, consolidate, and then continue to rally, right? Maybe at the end of next week we do break above 1.1 cent, but this is looking promising if we can get above about 0094, okay? Again, W patterns really start to look promising the most, not when they're here, but when they're right here, when they just get above that point there, that's when they're the most promising, because once you get above that point, really you should have a no problem, like you should have an effortless time getting up to this area here. So in other words, looking at OnyxCoin right now, what I'm expecting in, I would say, less than a week's time is something on the lines of a 17 to a 25% move. That sounds fine. That's appropriate. If not larger, because again, we can see crazy wicking price action. When OnyxCoin moves up, it does like to move up with a purpose. So if not there, then something larger, but a little bit of movement, a little bit of life, that should be nice over the coming days. I don't know if it'll happen by the end of this week, but I do expect it to happen by the early parts of next week, which would be what, like the 29th? What's the 29th is Wednesday. Yeah, by the 29th, I would say. Which makes sense. The FOMC meeting's on that day as well. We might even see higher prices. We really could. Stochastics look good, suggesting that we're going to go higher. Imagine you persist on this kind of path here. You'll be overbought on Saturday. So we are, I mean, it's possible. Maybe we do move up over the weekend. Maybe we have a positive weekend. Bitcoin's looking like it's shaping up for a positive weekend as well, to be completely fair. I feel like my going rate, though, anytime that I predict, even when the weekends look positive, anytime that I predict that the weekend's going to be boring, I'm typically right. and then whenever the charts look positive for the weekend to grow and I call for the weekend to be green, I'm typically wrong. Typically, the weekends are boring. So even though things do look shaped up for the weekend, just prepare. It could be stagnant, and it's okay if it is. That's mainly why. That's the large reason why I think that we're going to be up at these areas. I'm reserving that for next week, not by the end of this week, is because the weekend is typically stagnant. But stochastics look good. The RSI is also good. I don't know if can you guys see this little guy right here. Let's see. Let me get him. Let me get your buddy. Come on, come here. Come over here, Mufasa. I forgot how much he likes to come up in these videos, especially when I'm over here. Hey, buddy, little Mufasa. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he's not so little. He's actually a big boy himself. He is. He's like all muscle too. This dude is. He's a beefy cat. Anyways, higher lows, higher highs here. Higher lows, higher highs. Let's see here. 4-hour time frame looking like this. I mean, you got this W set up. Bullish momentum building. Stochastics look great. I mean, you're probably going to get in the overbought zone at the RSI at the same time you get in the stochastics, and that will likely coincide with a breakout of the MACD. The oscillators will see something above the zero. And again, the last time that we saw that, we had nice price action in a very short amount of time. The time before that, same thing, right? We've gotten these pumps. So there's something coming. There definitely is something coming. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're looking to buy OnyxCoin below 1 cent, well, it's a hell of a deal here below 0.9 cents, right? It's a hell of a deal here, and it won't be long lived. Over the coming days, if not certainly sometime next week, we should see some resolution that takes us back above 1 cent. That's what I'm seeing here, okay? Daily time frame, bullish divergence being built on the stochastics. Very nice divergence, actually. Bullish divergence on the RSI as well. And then the MACD also has bullish divergence, or is that? I do this, I think, every single day. No, it's not. It looks like it is, but no, it's not. Higher lows with the oscillators, lower lows with the price, that is bullish divergence. We've got bullish divergence really on every single indicator in some sense. I think it's very obvious that we're at the low point here. Whenever we move up, you see, this is the perfect storm for a complete disappointment, because when we move up, there's going to be a lot of people who've panic sold throughout this time, right? Maybe they sold up here, maybe they sold up here. Most likely they sold the low points, relatively speaking, and wherever they sold the low points, it might have been heart-wrenching at first anytime you saw this price move up, but at this point in time, you probably all feel pretty good about selling wherever you sold, right? But afterwards, whenever we move up, afterwards, it's going to be like, oh, wow, we double bottomed. Oh, wow, we consolidated for almost a year. And we have a double bottom. Of course, it would result in only one thing. Of course, this is what would happen. There's going to be a lot of, I think, disappointment and despair, because I really do. I know, I was going to say I theorize, but I know that there are a lot of people who sold out here, who bought over here, and who bought, over here as well. There are a lot of people who sold out, and unfortunately, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to watch the ship take off without you, which sucks, or the worst thing is you're gonna buy in at a high point, and you're gonna have to deal with those battles as we go higher. But we are going to go higher. I don't doubt that at all. I very much do believe that we're on a path that is going to take us all the way up again to 26 to 32 cents. I don't want to go into extreme depths as to why we believe this, but there is a lot of significance with this zone specifically lining up with the XCN USD chart and the XCN BTC chart. There's just a lot of significance that there's a lot of different things that line up right in this area that make the most sense. But at a bare minimum, we'd see something at, I think, 15 to 11 cents, right? And from here, that's still tremendous growth, very tremendous growth. I mean, at a bare, literally logical but pessimistic minimum, we'd see something on the lines of like a 13, 14x from here, okay? If we go where I think we're going to go at a minimum, that's about a 29, 30x, and we likely see these targets happen. I mean, we could see these. We could, as crazy as it is, you guys, we could see 26 to 32 cents in the end of November. I gotta go. I hear my daughter waking up. I'm gonna go calm her down before she wakes up. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care. Bye.